Welcome back, guys, to a brand new video. Now today we have lots to talk about as we are going to be officially covering the launch day of the Ossidon launch, which is coming to Ark Survival Ascended on Tuesday the 18th of November, of course, if Wildcard have no delays, but they still said in the most recent community crunch that it's on track for the 18th, which is kind of good news, I guess. You know, anything can change in the last couple of hours when it comes to Ark, but hopefully it should all be on track. Now, we're going to go through all the news, so if you guys do enjoy, drop a like and subscribe. It really supports me. And let's get in with today's video. Also, before we get into the Ossidon, I want to show you my new Ossidon. This is actually Merlin. So we have Atlas and Merlin, which you're going to be seeing in videos coming up. Such a beautiful cat and so lovely, and I'm so excited very, very soon, as I said, to have them just running around on the desk in the videos and, you know, getting involved in the streams, and I'm sure you'll just see them in the background. But I wanted to show you lovely Merlin, and he joins the LoadedCrysis family, and I just can't wait to give them such an amazing life. Like I told you in the past videos, you know, the fact that they were found literally as kittens on the side of the road, you know, in a bag is just it just was so upsetting to me. And now that, you know, they've got all the toys they've ever wanted, all the food they've ever wanted, obviously, you know, making sure they don't, you know, they're healthy and stuff. But yeah, I'm just absolutely loving it, and so glad, and I can't wait for you guys to properly meet them in video. Right, but anyway, guys, let's get into Ossidon. So we did kind of cover this in the crunch the other day, but the main focus on that video was for the TLC. So as I mentioned, the Ossidon arrives on the November 18th and will temporarily spawn within the cold biomes on Ragnarok, Valguero, and the center until Lost Colony's final drop on December 16th. Now, I didn't read the temporary spawn bit. I don't know how. When this first got announced, I never even mentioned it. Unless I said it, but just didn't even register in my head that this is a temporary spawn. So when Lost Colony actually launches, the Ragnarok, Valguero, and the Center, they'll stop having the spawns of the Ossidon. I'm sure you can still bring the Ossidon over when transfers open up on the LoadedCrysis cluster. If you want to play with us, transfers on PvE open up straight away. But I'm sure you're still going to be able to bring them over, but they just won't spawn in the long time. So you'll have them being able to spawn for just under, just under a month. You'll have them on Ragnarok, Valguero, and the center, which is really interesting. And Wildcard said the Ark will feel a little colder, and the Ossidon finally steps out of the mist. Its frost-bitten and relentless presence makes it one of Ark's most striking creatures we've brought into focus yet. And I did mention this in my video, but I was thinking, is this a new weapon? And it looks like it is, and I thought it was, but I just didn't mention anything, because I just kind of was like, no, unless this is a skin, you know, I just kind of thought maybe it's a skin, but no, apparently, according to, I think it was GP, said he found it in the, I think he said he found it in the files, I'm not sure whether it was him or someone else, that this is actually a new kind of crossbow. So interesting stuff there, but obviously this was our first look at the Ossidon, and it looks like it literally can carry survivors in their hands. This time around, it's looking like it's actually carrying this survivor because it's ready to eat. And this survivor is like, get her! And then you've got obviously the Drakelin there as well. And this saddle, who knows how expensive this saddle is going to be to actually get for the Ossidon. You know, it's absolutely massive. I reckon it's going to require an insane amount of metal. So definitely get grinding in preparation to build this saddle. And obviously, you've got to be the right level, and you've got to be able to tame it first before you can use it. And as a reminder, guys, if you've already got the Lost Colony expansion pass, you know, you will have this already. It says allows all pass holders to confront his elemental juggernaut from day one of its release. So now we're going to dive into the kind of dossier, but it was not a dossier. It was a data, kind of like a data thing. What was the name of it, official name of it? Oh, is it Fauna Data, a Rat Prime Fauna Data? Let's get in with that. So this week brings some big moments on the Ark. The Ossidon has stepped into the foreground at last, and an imposing winterborn brute with a presence that seems to quiet the wilds around it. And then obviously this is like old news talking about extra life, and this is the information we got on the Ossidon. So this new data is the ARK Prime fauna data, which I'm guessing we're going to see with some of the other creatures. And obviously I know so many of you, I've read it in the LoadedCrysis cluster, I've read it in my comments, I've seen so many of you say that you really love the red element, and you're really excited to see what that's, what we're going to be able to do with that. So a little overview. So we've got overview and applications when it comes to data, because normally when it's a dossier, we have the domesticated side of it and when it's in the wild. But as for the overview, so the Project Ossidon has already yielded the ideal apex predator for our people's needs. Experimentation with the infusion of red element into creatures engineered for hardiness has given us a truly fearsome creature that can dominate the Antarctic wastes. By design, these noble snow beasts can be sorted at a distance by adaptation. Each specimen I can't even pronounce that, but expresses its most useful genomic trait. The healthiest Ossidon might display a magnificent crest, while the deadliest will flash the longest teeth. Wow, okay, spooky. As for the applications, our biotech teams are laboring around the clock to gestate and domesticate as many Ossidons as possible, should the day come when they may be needed to defend against a titan. In the near term, these glorious behemoths will be employed as our peacekeepers and guardians. So even though this thing looks frightening, it's gonna actually work out as more of a guardian for you in the end, and your tribes. So Ossidon was engineered to produce excessive quantities of cryogenic mucus. This foul substance is this creature's greatest weapon. Whether rolled into an icy wrecking ball or spit into a shower of bone-chilling slush, any rider will feel unstoppable astride one of these imposing brutes. Our mounted forces will soon become as integral to the defense of this outpost as our protective energy shield, and should any of my subjects, my esteemed colleagues, feel tempted to challenge my rule, the Ossidon under my command will prove to be an effective deterrent. Very, very, very cool indeed, and I cannot wait to see this unleashed. Can you believe? In 2 days, it's less than 2 days now. Well, actually, it's probably 2 days on the dot, because I'm guessing it's going to launch. I'm going to say it's going to launch between, as I'm recording this video, which is 5:12 p.m. GMT, to 10 p.m. That's kind of my time. I actually think this is going to come earlier than many people expect. It's the DLC launches, which are the ones that go into like the early hours of the morning. We also had a little bit more information to go through from when we had our first look at the Ossidon, and can you believe it's nearly been 1 whole month since they announced it? So it was 1 whole month ago they announced it, and then a month later it was releasing, which is crazy. And this also gives you an understanding on the size of the Ossidon compared to a Survivor. So in this one they said, something colossal stirs in the frozen wastes of ARK Prime, a brutal echo of nature shaped by red element. Behold the Ossidon, a monstrous primate that has turned frozen alchemy into power and adapted to survive where even titans falter. Where even the reseed protocol cannot reach. Once dismissed as a mutation gone wrong, this towering beast has become a living symbol of raw endurance and elemental might. Its dense fur shifts with the cold, its crest of bone and ice marking it as a creature forged in the harshest crucibles imaginable. The Ossidon is a force of frost and fury, ruled not by cunning, but by an overwhelming will to dominate. Yet amid the chaos, a strange bond can form between beast and rider. A surge of shared affinity that turns survival into symbiosis. Some even whisper that the Ossidon's form can shift with its attributes, its power informing the twisted frame which it contains. The Ossidon arrives November 18th and will temporarily spawn, as we said, on Valguero, Ragnarok, and the center. Still your nerves. This is no ordinary primate. This is going to be wild. So I can't wait to see all of you here and ready on Tuesday the 18th. Whether you're going to be playing with us in the LoadedCrysis cluster be sure to let me know, because I'd love to see a whole bunch of you experiencing this for the first time with me. I will be recording as well on the cluster, checking out the Ossidon for the first time. So if you want to be in that snow biome and hearing around, then be sure to do so. And I also will be recording Lost Colony within the cluster too. So anyone that wants to get involved, the link to our Discord is always down below. But I think that's pretty much going to be everything that we need to go through so far. Again, for this new weapon, I have no idea whether that's going to launch with the Ossidon. I guess it might just launch with a Lost Colony, because Lost Colony is 1 month today. Like, this year has just flown by. Absolutely no clue what happened there, but OBS just crashed. But anyway, guys, thank you very much for watching today's video. I will see you in my next one, and yeah, can't wait for the Ossidon.